ignoring all the other rewards or the awards that initially came out coming from the jury. So after the judge going through the motion coming from Canada Japan's lawyers, now feels that okay, what you are saying there's a sense in it, or I think I agree with you according to the law. So I'll rather reward the $500 instead of the other rewards that they were given. It could be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a plumber, anybody can be part of the jury. For them, they don't know anything about the law like that.
Okay.
So they want them to use their common sense, the reasonable as they can be.
To do the
judgment. But the judge will be guiding them. The judge will tell them the limit of what they can do and what they can't do. So the judge will be there, but will tell them, okay, legally, this is what this means. Now, take your decision. Just that they are saying that you couldn't prove that actually he caused harm to you. So are you going to start a new case to build to the point that you can prove that there was an actual harm or something like that? The only harm here that's the reason why Canada Japan is even paying something is the presumed damages. And the presumed damages, unless they awarded less than $500, then you are going to appeal, or you can go for a review for them to increase it to $500.
Ride or drive with Shaxi. Download the Shaxi ride-hailing app and sign up as a driver or rider. Get Shaxi today from the Google Play and Apple App Store today.
When we set it in motion, we don't know how to stop. We go, 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 and we go. Raising today, we are seated again to do one of the newest additions on the Sammy Flex TV platform. That is Pop and Politics, aka PMP. It is going well. You people are enjoying it, and we are also giving it to you. Woto, woto, woto. The last time I checked, some known politicians were looking forward to join us either via Zoom or in the studio for us to discuss some of these happenings. It is Pop and Politics. You can also call it PMP. My sidekick is Intim Dode Solomon, aka Chemo. When we sit like this, then you should know we are taking it from the top. Today, we are interested in Kennedy Agyapong and Anas Aremiyao Anas. We are interested in their banter ongoing. How it started, how it is going, how some people are jubilating, how some people are saying, oh, we did not even want money, and the social media commentaries around it. What really are the real issues? That is what we are trying to delve deeper into in this particular episode. So take your time, relax, and enjoy me and my sidekick, Chabo. Chabo, how far so far?
So far, there's a new word trending. I mean, there's a hashtag.
Hashtag?
Yeah, and the hashtag is Killenchia.
That is killer doesn't pay.
Yes, killer in chia.
And where did this hashtag emanate from?
I think it is coming from the case between Anas Aremiyao Anas and Canada Japan. Very, very interesting one. You see, because there was an initial ruling that we were all aware of, or at this point we are aware of.
Yeah.
And in that,
that's the $80 million?
Yes.
Hey.
$80 million initial.
That money was money. Like to cough out $80 million.
Yes, exactly.
Oh,
and now we are. I've chanced on a video that Anas lawyer was saying that they didn't say that they are getting the $18 million right away because they knew that there will be a post-trial activities that can happen, meaning that Canada Japan's lawyers can also take them. Yes, they can take the matter to court again and then
for a
asked
review.
for a review and other stuff. So they were just reporting what has happened, not that they said that they are getting the money by all means. Yes, that's what they are saying. But we also Anas making a video about winning a judgment against Kennedy Agyapong. It was all over
I remember
that
documentary kind of video be some time ago.
And again, in the new video that I have seen, Anas lawyer talking, he said that they will review the verdicts now, and maybe appeal, or they will review the verdict and
there are 500 verdicts.
Yes,
they also want to go and appeal again.
That's what
but Anas says they are not looking for money. So what are they going to appeal for?
Exactly. So for me, I think Anas should be talking to his lawyers. I think something is not right here. The lawyers are saying something different, Anas is saying something different. So they should look at it carefully.
Chapo, I still want to believe they are all on the same page, because if I'm your lawyer, I'm going to work based on instructions from my client.
Exactly.
So it is not as if the lawyers are just saying anything they want. It is because that is the agreement between them and their client.
Yes. So
it is just the matter of who is putting out the information.
Yes.
Either the information is coming from Anas or the information is coming from the lawyers.
Yes.
So I even don't want to admit that Anas should talk to his lawyers. Already they are talking, and every step of the way they are together. Then they know what they are doing.
Then why should why would a lawyer come out and say that they will consider an appeal, but Anas says that he won't do that, because as for him, it is just about getting victory for what he took the Kennedy Agyapong
antics and rhetorics, if you ask me.
These
are antics and rhetorics. You know, it's a legal issue. And
of course.
When it started, social media made them heroes.
Yes.
I even want to believe that even Anas himself, with the video that he put out, he was forming a hero. Then, fortunately or unfortunately, a review comes and the review presents a whole different story altogether. Now, the heroes are no more heroes. So, definitely, they don't have to just accept it like that. They have to put their shoulders up small and pretend it is something.
Like saying that the award wasn't the issue, but the case was the issue. For me, I don't believe Anas for saying that. Just based on the documents available or the document coming from court. You can't just say that you were just the focus should be on the case. Winning the case, but not really about the reward or the award that you get.
They will need
now na sika what here for lawyers no. Start $500
a better thing.
Lawyers, American lawyer. In your case for such a long time, master. One more kakra na nya we bia sabre one more kakra no woni na bia be $500,000 ana bibi for legal fees.
So you needed this money to sort out all these things.
Yes. At least to sort out legal fees for you to come out to say that you just wanted to win the case, or the court to clear you of the defamatory statement that Kennedy Agyapong said about you. I don't believe him for saying that.
Okay, Chemo, so this is what I want us to do, ladies and gentlemen. We have press statements from both camps. From the camp of Anas Arimiyao, Anas and the Tiger Eye crew, as well as Kennedy Agyapong Honorable. We are going to read them. Then maybe the little understanding that we have, we are sure going to share it with you. First, I'm reading Anas Arimiyao, Anas's press statement, and they are saying that 11th May 2025, press release. Our victory is in the judgment and not the award. That is what they are saying. In fact, that is the headline they gave to the press release. That our victory is in the judgment and not the award. Now, let's read. As Ghanaians may recall, a couple of weeks ago, an American jury found Kennedy Agyapong guilty of maliciously defaming my character. Consequent to the finding by the jury, an amount of $18 million awarded in my favor against Kennedy Agyapong. Following the award, Kennedy Agyapong filed a motion for remittiture, asking the judge to reduce the amount awarded against him. Thus, inherent in his motion, Kennedy Agyapong admitted to having maliciously defamed me. Today, the trial judge granted Kennedy Agyapong's motion for remittiture and reduced the initial award to $500. This means that while the judge held that Kennedy Agyapong had defamed me, in his reasoning, the award against Kennedy Agyapong by the jury was excessive. Many avenues of redemption accrue to me, but it is important to state, as I previously did, that this fight has not been about the money, but rather a fight for truth and justice. I'm happy that not a single allegation was proven against me in court when Kennedy Agyapong was given full opportunity to substantiate. I will continue in my relentless fight against corruption, and in doing that, continue to name. This was signed by Tiger Eye PI. Now, Chamba, would you want to explain this so we can take our time and go to the other one as well?
Exactly. So, according to Anas,
okay,
after initial judgment came out on his favor, awarding for him to get $18 million. Kennedy Agyapong, through his lawyers, filed for an motion that they call remitter. A lawyer was saying that the spelling is like that, but we should say remitter.
Remitter.
Because the opposite of it is additor, or the additor. For that one, the spelling is ADDITUR.
Okay, remitter.
Yeah.
Not remitter.
Yeah, but meanwhile, the spelling is
that's one of the confusion in English.
So for us, this is even a legal term, so you say remitter.
Yeah.
For those who, the lawyers should say the
remitter.
Other one. Yes. Okay. For us, you still say remitter.
Just as we see it.
As we see it.
I love that.
So in this case, when you file that motion, what you are saying is that whatever the judgment that they have given against you is excessive, and it is not proportionate to the crime or the allegation
put on you, or the charges put on you. Yeah,
it is not proportionate, because the idea of a court punishing you or giving a judgment is to be fair. So your punishment should be proportional to what damage that you have caused. So when you file for the remitter, what you are saying is that the judgment is not proportional to whatever damage that they are accusing you of.
Okay.
Yes. So in this case, Kennedy Agyapong's lawyer did that. They filed that motion, and then after the judge going through it, according to Anas' statement, agreed with Kennedy Agyapong's lawyers that yes, the judgment amount was excessive, and again there were other things that the judge considered. Okay. That one, I think Anas didn't put it here. Okay. But after considering all those things, the judge said that Anas deserved $500.
Dollars.
Yes. And in the judgment,
out of the 18 million.
Yes, out of the 18 million. And the $500 was for what they call presumed damages. And the presumed damages is when we are not so sure what has happened to you, but we know if somebody has defamed you, and you can come out and say you have emotional distress, embarrassment, the public don't see you the way
like
they
the
see
personal
things that you can't prove, but you are claiming say at all. For that one, they will reward you something. And in the case of New Jersey law, the maximum that they can reward you is the $500.
Okay.
So that is what the judge is now settling on, ignoring all the other rewards or the awards that initially came out, coming from the jury. So after the judge going through the motion coming from Kennedy Agyapong's lawyers, now feels that okay, what you are saying, there's a sense in it, or I think I agree with you according to the law. So I'll rather reward the $500 instead of the other rewards that they were given. So that's the explanation Anas is giving, and Anas is saying that as for him, he's okay with what has come out, because his main issue was that he is not the criminal that Kennedy Agyapong was calling him. He hasn't done anything wrong. So if the court is affirming the fact that he hasn't done anything wrong, he's not a criminal, and now confirming again that Kennedy Agyapong rather defamed him, then he's okay with the judgment.
He doesn't want to take any other thing again.
Court no koye no. Enye sika na okope. He was just going to clear his name. And in the court na clear ni dina, he's okay with it. And that's the press release that Anas is bringing out as we speak now.
Oh, I see. All right, so let's go on to read what Kennedy Agyapong and his team, what they are also saying, definitely in relation to what is happening. And this one is also released on 13th May. And it says, U.S. court slashes $18 million defamation award against Kennedy Agyapong just $500. Just.
Okay.
It says, a U.S. federal court has delivered a significant legal victory for Honorable Kennedy Agyapong, reducing an earlier $18 million defamation award against him in a symbolic sum of $500. This outcome follows a successful motion for remitter filed by Mr. Agyapong's legal team, which argued that the original jury was grossly excessive and unsupported by the evidence presented at trial. After careful judicial review, the presiding judge agreed, describing the $18 million in damages as disproportionate and illegally unsustainable. The court's decision to reduce the amount to a nominal $500 represents not only a resounding legal vindication, but also a reaffirmation of Mr. Agyapong's long-standing belief in justice, fairness, and the right to speak truth to power. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong extends his deep appreciation to all well-wishers and patriotic Ghanaians, both home and abroad, who stood by him with prayers, encouragement, and moral support throughout the legal process. He reaffirms his commitment to upholding the values of integrity, bold leadership, and dedicated service to the Ghanaian people, vowing never to relent in his efforts to defend but accountability in public. To defend truth and accountability in public. And this was signed by one Prince Ajay, aka Guy G, on behalf of Kennedy Agyapong, that is Ken City media boss. So now, we understood the letter from Anas Arimia Anas. We got all the various information that we needed from what the gentleman was looking for then. At least now, let's pay attention to Honorable Kennedy Agyapong's content as well.
Yeah.
What is his press statement also saying?
Well, according to Kennedy Agyapong and his team, they are also saying that they have won. This is a legal victory for them.
They have won.
Yeah, in a way, the victory and according
because
to
they are paying $500.
Yes, and $500 in Ghana city is 6,000.
But that is not winning.
Exactly. So you see, when it comes to legal issue or the PR of it, you can see the angles that people will take. You've been asked to pay money, but you are saying that is the vindication or the victory for whatever that you have done. And for me, I think this is part of the PR gimmicks that we will normally hear from either side.
Yeah.
I mean, as I said, I don't really believe in what Anas said, saying that it wasn't about the money. I just wanted to clear my name.
Yeah.
The same way that Kennedy Agyapong and his team, you can't call this victory because it was confirmed that you have defamed the person. So what victory are you talking about? Just that the punitive judgment or other rewards that you were expecting you to pay is what you are not paying. In fact, some people are even disputing the fact that this is a reduction. They are saying that technically it is not a reduction. It is just what Anas was I mean, what they were, he is entitled.
What he was entitled to.
it is what he was entitled to, but not rather anything called a reduction here. Because reducing $18 million to $500,
impossible.
How are you going to?
Impossible.
I mean, explain that. So some people don't really want to call it a reduction. Just that technically you can say it's a reduction because of the remediator motion that you file. Because the idea of remediator is to go for reduction. Even in the name will tell you what it is. Yes, it's to go for a reduction. In the same way, the opposite is the additor, where you are going for addition. You want them to even add more, because they are saying that when judgment comes out like that, maybe those who were analyzing it may not be so sure, or they could not get the actual
the real information.
Yes, so based on that, they can either undervalue the damage or even hype it. So when you are awarded a figure and you feel that no, this one they undervalue it, you can tell the court that, my lord, nyabotre.
Acquire chicken change.
Yes, because damage now our cost a bull sikano. And mumfa bin count. So you can go to court and request or ask for more. And again, you can also go to court and ask for reduction. You can say that, oh, Debbie. So that damage, most of my cost, and it's too wide. It's not proportional, so reduce it. That's why technically some people can say it's a reduction. But in this particular case,
they will look at all the
other
issues
factors,
around it.
Yes, exactly, before this thing will
they can come up with that.
Yes,
verdict.
and so now let's go into exactly why Canada Agyapong is paying only $500.
Yes.
Why
you have to understand.
Yes, why $500 but not the $18 million initially awarded to Anas? When you go through the documents coming from the court on the side of Canada Agyapong and his legal team, they have given a very all the points that they submitted to the judge, why they shouldn't pay or why they should not be allowed to pay the $18 million.
The $18 million.
But rather
they have written to the judge and the jury.
Through the motion of the remediator that we are calling it. They file that motion, giving all the instances why it is not possible or it will not be appropriate for them to pay the $18 million that was rewarded. And when you go through the document, the first point that they raised was the fact that even the punitive reward that the jury give, they had no authority to do that. The jury.
Okay, the judge and his people.
The judge, in this case, when you brought in jury, the jury is other group of people who are going to look at the case outside the judge. So when there's a jury involved,
so the jury will judge differently.
Yes.
For the judge to also look at his own case.
So at that point, the judge will be guiding the jury based on law. You see, the jury can be anybody in society that deem reasonable. They have all the qualification to judge a case. They are reasonable people. But it could be anybody. It could be a doctor, a lawyer, a nurse, a plumber. Anybody can be part of the jury. For them, they don't know anything about the law like that. So they want them to use their common sense, the reasonable as they can be,
to do the judgment.
But the judge will be guiding them. The judge will tell them the limit of what they can do and what they can't do. So the judge will be there, but will tell them, okay, legally, this is what this means. Now take your decision. Legally, this is how, when they say this is the meaning of it. Based on this, take your decision. So the judge will be there, but the decision will not come from the judge. It will come from the jury. After that, the judge will now do the pronouncement based on what the jury will present. Yes,
to him.
But most cases, the judge will also have a say based on what the jury will say.
Okay.
Yes, that's why sometimes when it happens like this, now the judgment coming is not coming from the jury. They have no control here. It is coming from the judge because they filed the motion that the jury were confused. They don't know what they are doing. So now the judge should take over and then give the final verdict instead of going to the jury. So this is what exactly happened.
I see.
Yes.
So as it stands now, do you see the end of the case, or you still suspect Anas and his people might appeal? Indeed,
they can appeal, but I see the end of it, and this is the reason. Based on the points or the argument that Agyapong side made, I don't see how they are going to overturn whatever happened.
Okay.
And the reason is, the first one was the fact that the jury was confused based on the fact that they had no power, or the charge for them to give the verdict that they give did not include giving compensatory damages or actual damages and punitive damages. They had no control there, but they still did. So according to the argument coming from the Agyapong side, they said that one, these people don't have any means to do the kind of award that they give. And the reason is, you see, before you get to giving punitive damages, you have to give compensatory or actual damages. There are two things, punitive and actual, or what people say, the actual harm.
Yeah.
Yes. So what it means is, before you can punish somebody, you have to prove that they have done something wrong which has caused somebody. So the actual damages or the compensatory damages couldn't be proved by Anas and his team, according to Agyapong's people.
Okay.
And the actual harm in these cases, what has now, we have now accepted the fact that he has defamed you. We have accepted it. Okay. What is the actual harm of that defamation?
Yeah. Let us know. So we don't do some.
Yes. And the pan or the ayawa, it's defamation or can that they got, according to the court document, is embarrassment, emotional damage, and beyond that, it was psychological damage.
Yeah.
And that one, it is not an actual damage. I mean, it is not something that you can prove. How do you prove the emotional damage caused to somebody? No.
You can't.
Whatever the person says is what you will take.
I see.
And so, based on that, so let's give those who are watching it what we call an actual damage or something that you can prove.
Okay.
It is when, let's say, Anas, for instance, he's somebody who is doing documentaries, and there are big networks, media houses that will take his work and pay him for what he has.
You are right.
Yes. So Anas has done a documentary about to give it to Al Jazeera, or let's say CNN.
Yeah.
And then
and this is a new documentary.
Yes. No, I'm taking it as an example.
Scenario.
Yes,
Okay.
as an example.
Okay.
Then Agyapong will claim that Anas is a criminal, he's a murderer, he's so and so, and then Al Jazeera will go like, hey, we can't work with a criminal like you, or we can't work with a murderer, so we are no more taking the documentary that you have done. What it means is that Anas will lose whatever revenue or
he is building
compensation that you would have gotten if they were doing the work with him. That is the actual damage that you can prove.
Yeah.
Anas didn't present anything like that.
Oh,
he couldn't. He couldn't do anything like that because Agyapong might have defamed him as he's saying, but it is of no damage.
If you are going to present, what happened? Just if you have it here,
give it to them and let's see. But the point is that it is difficult to prove the actual damage if indeed nothing of that sort have happened or has happened.
Okay.
The thing is that we will need evidence. Maybe Al Jazeera will write to you that we can't work with you anymore because of maybe the public image of whatever that you are going through. He didn't have anything like that to present. So according to Kennedy Agyapong's team, he had no evidence, or the evidence was not sufficient to prove actual damage. And the court agreed.
Okay.
And if the court agreed to that, then they cannot give you compensatory damage.
Yeah, or if they can give you something meager.
So no, this one they will not give you anything because there's no actual damage. We are going to the next step.
Oh.
So if you don't get any actual damage for whatever has happened to you, then we cannot give you what they call punitive damage. Now,
I get it.
Yes, you can't.
That one there's going to be some punishment
meant for this actual harm that you have caused. So the first one, you couldn't prove that there's an actual damage, there's an actual harm.
You couldn't prove that this guy, you know him, you work with him, and all those things.
You couldn't prove it, that there's a damage to whatever that he said to you. You couldn't prove it. All that you could say was that you have psychological problem, mental issue, public embarrassment. And for that one, it is not an actual damage. There is nothing that you can prove. So now they didn't give him anything for the compensatory damage or the actual damage.
So he lost that one too. I think that one was how much? 10,000, eh?
He lost that one. No, according to them, that one was $5 million.
Okay.
For the jury give compensatory damage of $5 million. But they are saying that you can't prove anything, and if court agrees with that, then you don't deserve that $5 million. So the $5 million, a court. Then they go to punitive damage, and that one is automatic. If you don't have actual compensatory, then you don't deserve the punitive one. So because the actual damage was off, the punitive was also $8 million.
I see.
Then we got to another one that they give $5 million, which is presumed damage.
Okay.
So that is where the contention was
between their case.
For the case, now they have lost actual damage because you can't prove. Punitive damage because you can't prove actual damage. That one too is gone. Now you have only presumed damage, and the presumed damage is we can't really prove what has happened to you. So we have to give you something, no matter what, because there could be damage that we can't prove. And if you are saying that there was a damage, why not? We have to give you something, at least to prove that when you brought the case, we heard you.
We made moves about it.
And we agreed that you have suffered a damage, especially when you have won the case, that there was a defamatory statement, malicious defamatory statement. So because of that, the first two is gone, but the last one should stay, which is the presumed damage. And the presumed damage was $5 million according to the jury. But the Kennedy Agyapong and his team, the lawyers are saying that no, according to New Jersey law, the highest that you can go for a presumed damage is $500.
The highest?
The highest that you can go is $500.
Okay.
Because that one, we are just using it to acknowledge the fact that
you are the original
owner and there's a damage caused to you that we don't know. But we think that $500 or 6,000 Ghana cedi. So that is the highest that you can go. And based on that, Kennedy Agyapong lawyer said that, my lord, even if you give this guy anything, it should be the presumed damage
that you are giving them.
Yes, and even that one, it is up to $500. So either you even reduce that one, or you maintain it as $500. And that is their case. And again, when you go through the document, the Anas lawyers, this is why I am also saying that I don't believe Anas if he says that he's only interested in...
And he doesn't know, and you guys
because
are saying
according to the...
There seems to be some competition.
Because according to the court document, they were asking for more in what we call adita. They were asking for more. Even the $18 million. They were asking for more.
I see.
It wasn't only $18 million. So according to Canada Japan's lawyers, they said that no. I didn't cry, no, you don't deserve it. What's on their backward to say, this is illogical, according to them. I'm quoting here. Illogical. I buy a customer because a young Rudoria sem, a young and the end to Mukra, a young Quassas, and the end to Mukra, and I am maintaining $500 or less. And then the court granted the motion. So that is why we are here, we are where we are today, where the court or the judge said that, okay, I agree. The first two, they couldn't prove it. So it should go away. The last one, the limit that we can go is $500. So the Canada Japan should
pay the presumable judgment.
The presumed damages. Damages that we cannot prove.
We think you have suffered something.
We have suffered something. So let's give you $500. And so that's how much they can get. And this is why I'm saying that it will be difficult for Anas and his team go for review or go for an appeal. What are you going to appeal for? For more money or what?
Because you have said.
Because the actual case, you have won it.
Okay.
So there's no issue here. They have given you the fact that yes, he says something that is injury to you. The defamatory statement he said is true. So now what they are contesting is the amount that should be awarded to you. So unless you are going back to court to prove that there is an actual damage to you, if you can't prove actual damage, you can't get that money. And the only money that you can get, according to the court proceedings, is the presumed damages.
Which is $500.
Which is $500. And you will appeal or
the way I'm seeing many people online saying they will pay the $500 for Canada Japan.
Well,
Chamoba, one interesting thing is a video that I saw, maybe from the residence of Canada Japan or maybe from his office or something.
Yeah.
Where he and his friends and family members were doing worship. They were clapping. They were thanking God for the case. I said, but you did not win the case. You have still lost.
Yeah.
So I don't know why there seems to be that celebration of jubilation and celebration. Like, what is it about?
Yeah, I think it's because of the $18 million to $500. That is the issue here. Because when the case, initially when they said that they are going to pay $80 million, people were saying that, hey, this is serious. Now Canada Japan is in trouble and all those things. They were saying a whole lot. He's going to
break his account.
And maybe they will sell his houses. In fact, I saw a post that they were even posting his houses in New Jersey.
Hey.
In fact, giving it values that.
Hey.
So if they are going to sell it, then maybe
they put it on sale already.
Yes, they have to maybe sell 2 or 3 of his houses before that one cannot even take all the cost. So they may be looking for other properties somewhere else to take care of it and all those things. So there was some form of, they were not happy about that. And for some reason, people were shaken a bit. Because for those who are very enthusiasts of Canada Japan or the die-hard supporters, that's the word that I'm looking for. Those who were die-hard supporters of Canada Japan, they were worried. This is serious. This is going to damage him. So if from $18 million to $500 that there are so many people, 6,000 there, Obi Miana Nika Krebia. They will obviously jubilate. So I'm not surprised that they are doing something like that.
I see. Do you look at this being the end of the case?
Yes, I'm saying that it is the end of the case because now there's no contention of whether he caused damage to you or not. The defamation part, it is done. Just that they are saying that you couldn't prove that actually he caused harm to you. So are you going to start a new case to build to the point that you can prove that there was an actual harm or something like that? The only harm here that's the reason why Canada Japan is even paying something is the presumed damages. And the presumed damages, unless they awarded less than $500, then you are going to appeal or you can go for a review for them to increase it to $500. Now that they are giving you $500, what are you going to appeal?
Nothing to discuss again.
Yeah, nothing to discuss again. So for me, I think this is the end of the case. They can still take it to court, but I don't see what will turn, like, unless there's
what will be so different.
What will be so different here? So I'm even surprised that Anas lawyers or Anas lawyer, as I heard, was talking about the fact that they are going to review the case and see what to do next. Like you were saying, maybe it is that PR thing that you have to show that still
you are strong
or something like that. But I think he should let it go. Like Anas put it in his press release that he is happy with the fact that he has won the case against
judgment has come.
because he was just trying to clear himself. And this is a clear indication that for the New Jersey people, for the US people, he is clean. Just that he lost the same case in Ghana. He lost a similar case with
Ghana.
Canada, Agyapong in Ghana. Not the same case, but similar.
Yeah.
Yes, in Ghana. So for me, I think they should take their losses. Because for me, Anas, this is not a win for you. The money that you spent just for you to clear your name,
it is more than $500.
It won't worth it. So for if you say that you are okay just clearing your name, maybe they are the mentias here.
Because you've spent more than this.
You have spent more than this just for you to come and say that I just wanted to clear my name and take 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, this is pop and culture. Sorry, pop and politics. And I'm telling you that this is what it means. It means people who are doing the pop culture, they go deep into democracy, governance, legal, medicine, everything that you can think about. Like I keep telling you on this platform, it is hard, it is wild, and it is more. Now, I hope you understand it. Hope now you know what really the case is about. So if Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is one of your favorite persons for the NPP's presidential candidate, he'll still get his $18 million to come and do campaign.
Yes.
Because I know some people were saying, hey, Charlie, carry the no matter how rich you are, if you lose that amount of money, life will not be okay for you. So there is no way he was going to be okay if he was going to pay that amount of money. But now that he has gotten this new judgment that seemed to have seen some leniency on the charges that they are placing on him, your favorite presidential candidate for New Patriotic Party will be available to lead you guys to a possible victory in 2028. Chamo, let's close. Any final touches?
So for me, I think this is an interesting one, and and the PR game is also going on. People are putting their own twist to it and everything because it is difficult to go through legal issues. So sometimes people will just listen to what others will say, and then when you have the facts as we have presented it, now when they are talking, you know where they are
where to stand and where not to stand.
Yeah, exactly. And I will encourage people to watch us more because we are in to give them more. Yeah.
Well, thank you so much, Intim Dodu Solomon. Like he said, we are in to give you some more pop and politics PNP. This has come to stay. Anything that you have to understand again, you can drop it in the comment section and Chamo will be reading to see how best that he can supply you with more information. I'm sure now, Chemo, you have to start your chamber. In Tidosu chambers. Very soon. The way Chemo knows the rematita and the adita and all those things, I'm sure very soon in Tidosu chambers will be active. You guys should stay tuned for some more. Special thank you to the producers of the show, Theophilus the Ghost Desert and Sam Tuga. Honorable Kennedy Agyapong is now free forever from $18 million. He's free from $18 million.
To 6,000 Ghana cedis.
Oh, $500. Yeah, see you in the level. So that's your share, boy. That's your share, boy. I see you when I see you. We're out of here. Bye-bye.
Everybody check now. Check it. Check it. Check it. Check it. The beat is real. Don't wait, make it kill ya. Get your green select glucometer and check it. Sugar level, check it. For check it. For check it. Green select glucometer. For check it. Put sugar level for check it. For check it. For check it. Green select glucometer. Everybody check now.
This advert has been vetted and approved by the FDA.